Jack Smith, a seasoned and highly respected prosecutor with decades of experience in tackling complex cases, was appointed as special counsel to oversee two of the most significant federal investigations in recent American history. The first investigation focused on former President Trump's handling of classified documents, including sensitive materials found at Mar-a-Lago, raising serious questions about national security and the safeguarding of government secrets. The second investigation delved into efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election, examining the events that led to the unprecedented attack on the U.S. Capitol. Smith's role was to ensure the investigations remained independent from political influence, focusing solely on the facts and the law, and restoring public trust in the justice system. In the January 6th probe, Smith's team took the extraordinary step of seeking phone records from key lawmakers, aiming to map out communications and uncover the full scope of coordination during the Capitol attack. This bold investigative move was designed to verify reports of pressure on Congress to block the certification of the election, and to identify any attempts to subvert the democratic process. Subpoenaing senators' phone records underscored the gravity and seriousness of the probe, signaling that no one was above scrutiny. Through these actions, Smith demonstrated his unwavering commitment to building a case based on hard evidence, meticulous investigation, and the pursuit of justice, regardless of political consequences. There's been confusion about what Smith's team actually obtained. They subpoenaed toll records, logs of calls made and received, not wiretaps or the content of conversations. Toll records show who called whom, when, and for how long, but not what was said. Wiretaps, by contrast, require a much higher legal standard and allow real-time listening. None were used here. The metadata from toll records helps confirm timelines and connections, providing objective evidence. This is a standard investigative tool, not surveillance or eavesdropping. The special counsel's actions were legal, limited, and clarified repeatedly in response to public criticism. Subpoenaing the phone records of 8 Republican senators was not a decision taken lightly. It represented a significant escalation in the investigation, signaling just how seriously the committee viewed the events surrounding January 6th. The move was a direct response to mounting public reports that former President Trump and his closest allies were actively calling members of Congress, urging them to delay or block the certification of the 2020 election results. Investigators needed to go beyond rumors and media leaks. They had to verify exactly who communicated, at what times, and for how long, especially during the tense and chaotic days leading up to and including January 6th. For example, Trump's misdirected call to Senator Mike Lee became a key detail, raising questions about the intent and coordination behind these efforts. Similarly, Rudy Giuliani's voicemail to another senator was widely reported, but only the actual records could confirm the timing and frequency of such contacts. Toll records offered a way to cut through speculation, providing concrete evidence of who was involved and how extensive the pressure campaign truly was. This data allowed investigators to build a detailed, factual timeline, one that didn't rely on potentially unreliable witness accounts or fading memories. The records served as neutral, objective evidence, which was crucial for establishing not just what happened, but also the intent and coordination behind the scenes. In a case of this magnitude, such foundational evidence was essential, not only for a credible inquiry, but also for ensuring that any conclusions drawn would stand up to public and legal scrutiny. Obtaining phone toll records through a grand jury subpoena is a well-established, routine legal practice in the United States, and it's important to understand that this process is not unique or unusual in this particular case. Law enforcement agencies and prosecutors have relied on this method for decades to gather crucial information during investigations, especially when trying to establish connections or timelines. The Supreme Court's landmark Smith v. Maryland decision, along with federal law, makes it clear that individuals do not have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the numbers they dial. This legal precedent allows investigators to access phone records without a search warrant, as the information is considered business records held by the phone company, not private content. However, when members of Congress are involved, the Department of Justice has strict internal policies that require additional oversight and review. In this case, Smith's team carefully followed these protocols, seeking and obtaining approval from the DOJ's Public Integrity Section before moving forward with the subpoena. This multi-layered process is designed to ensure that all requests for sensitive information are legitimate, justified, and not driven by political motivations. It adds a layer of accountability and transparency to the investigative process. In fact, similar grand jury subpoenas for phone records have been used in high-profile investigations involving both major political parties, including during the Trump administration, as well as in the Menendez and Biden document cases. These examples demonstrate that gathering phone toll records is a bipartisan, standard investigative tool used regardless of political affiliation to uncover the facts and pursue justice. Ultimately, the process is about following the evidence wherever it leads, not about advancing a political agenda. Despite claims of secrecy, the existence of these subpoenas was disclosed in indictments, public reports, and provided to Trump's legal team. Allegations of hidden records don't hold up against the documented legal process. The controversy reflects how routine investigative steps can be misrepresented in a polarized climate. Subpoenaing phone records is standard, lawful, and has precedent across administrations. The difference between metadata and wiretapping was often blurred in public debate, fueling false outrage. Ultimately, following established legal procedures is vital for accountability, regardless of political power. Upholding the rule of law and transparency ensures justice and democracy for all.